Dear Mother and Father, the air outside the window next to my desk, that I usually write from, is steamy and dark, riddled with clouds and stars alike. A leafy vine of dark shoots comes through the window, like little wisps of the thing growing from some point in the ground, just outside. It is a weed, in that it is growing where it should not be, but I don't have the heart nor the desire to pare it back. Sometimes I am sentimental about the strangest things. Huh? Oh. Funny, I'm getting distracted. As I was sitting here thinking, pondering what to say next, a beetle just dropped out of the sky next to me. You may have seen a similar kind at home. One of the generic garden varieties, somewhat reflective of sunlight, not quite jet black, a little tan at parts. Humor me. I can't help it. This beetle leg distracts me now. It's crooked with barbs, like a scythe that has multiple blades. Only the beetle never sows a crop. He only reaps what others have worked to sow. Anyway, a cooler week's ending after the blazing sun of previous weeks. Still, the Abbey hides in the shade. There is no reason for us to melt under the intense rays if we can do other things besides. Extra care is taken to water the plants during such periods, as otherwise, they would all shrivel up. The well in the center yard is the primary means of drawing water, though there is a natural spring elsewhere on the grounds, which bubbles up at all times. At any time of day, there is always somebody, especially in this heat, drawing water to fill up some reservoir around the Abbey. I am reminded of the pigs from last week. So, I spent the previous 7 days, up till now, expecting to see some growth in their size and length, but pigs mature slowly, I guess. Brother Lankley and some others have been spending much time watching them in their own ways, I suppose. That is, in Brother Lankley's case, if walking around on one's hands, around the pen, and yelling, "Pow!" over and over again, can be considered normal. Parents, I am convinced that Brother Lankley has something seriously wrong with him. But some of the younger monks have taken to naming the pigs. My favorite name that I've heard so far, as none of the names are official, has to be Sir Piggington. Now, Sir Piggington is actually a female, but the name stuck anyway. That little pig is wide, tall-eared, those little ears that perk up at the slightest sound. And of course, each of the little babies have that signature flat grunt nose. Well, the crops rise higher and higher in the sky, but we're still not ready for harvest. Copying and writing continues on the current works of Brother Silvus and his team. I got to work with them this week, writing until my hand cramped so much that I could not release my hand from that clenched quill-holding position, like I'm doing now. Imagine spending 4 hours seated, reading from material and copying it down onto another sheet. Punishing, my dear parents. Punishing and boring to the point of tears. What can I say? I struggle with patience as much as the next person. But we are discussing levels of patience beyond that demanded from any but parents with a newborn, or perhaps those teaching the youngest child to sit still. Me, I'd rather craft or combine source material into something new. Not to make sure that we have dotted or crossed each and every letter. By the way, Uncle Clam, and please don't be confused, I refer to him as Father Clam also, out of respect, fell this week and broke his leg. I was walking to the pantry, hoping to secret away a treat, when I heard a loud crash. Well, I charged into the room, making as if to be just passing by, though I wasn't. And there lay Uncle Clam, leg below him in an awkward fashion, fuming and groaning. He appeared to have fallen from a small stepladder, with a jar containing some type of sweet biscuit. I tried one just to be sure the type, broken and scattered with its contents. So, there you have it. I mentioned early on that Uncle Clam loves to eat. Now, it is his downfall. Literally. But that leads me to my final concern. I worry that Uncle Clam may also see his figurative downfall. To display weakness when a lower leader in the Abbey has already been demoted, publicly too, in front of the whole body in the main chapel. To be that way, with a leg broken, in front of his judgmental superior. There is rumor of replacement, of the installation of another to lead us forward. Yet, all reasonable folk consider Uncle Clam a fine replacement himself. An improvement, even, to the former abbot. All this talk is too dour for my liking, but that is the way of things here. If anyone has any questions back home, feel free to send them along in your next letter to me. I'd love to answer them. I can't guess what you do and don't like to hear about, at least as well as if you would just tell me outright. Rumor has it that this leader from the order will be here for even longer, though it has been, 3 weeks or so, or more at this point? Well, hopefully, better weather this week. The skies look promising. But who am I to judge clouds? I can't even predict when I'll be hungry after dinner. That is all. Your darling son, William Faingood.